Good morning, world. Here's a little view from my hotel room here in Hong Kong. Some interesting scenery indeed. I did not sleep well. It was kind of noisy, and I don't know why. I just couldn't sleep. But I did get about 3 hours, so we're gonna get out and make the most of today. Well, of course, I had to try Hong Kong breakfast, and I asked the lady and the waitress here. She's a local. This is what I ended up getting. It's like an instant noodle with some kind of Hong Kong style beef. Of course, the red sausage, which is a staple here, and just a fried egg. And then I was gonna order a coffee, but she said, oh, if you wanna do Hong Kong style, you have to do milk tea. But she said, actually, you can add coffee into the milk tea. I was like, is that good? I said, do some locals do it like that? She said, yeah, they do. So that's what I got. And the money here is so cool. It's basically the same value as Chinese renminbi, but the designs on it are, I mean, butterflies. Got this 100 note. And then the coins. Get the shape of that. Well, that's what I call a hardware store. Definitely some distinctive looking taxis over here. There's something about this that's slightly Japan-esque in some ways. We are in the underground walkway heading toward the Star Ferry, where we're going to cross the Victoria Harbour. I'm looking forward to a ferry ride. Haven't been on a ferry in so long, and the weather today is amazing. And we should be able to get some pretty good views of Hong Kong from there as well. I'll tell you something I should do, something I've never done that doesn't seem that exciting, but I'd like to get on one of these double-decker buses. I've literally never been on one. I should do that. Well, the views are getting progressively better. This is already awesome. T-shirt weather, by the way. Couldn't ask for a better day. Got the ice cream truck over here. This is incredible. I mean, I've been to a lot of places in the world, but this feeling and this visual right here is extremely unique. Here we are, the Victoria Harbour. Grabbing a quick coffee. We're just over here by the Star Ferry boarding area. This has got to be one of the coolest McDonald's locations I've ever seen. You come in, you go downstairs, so it's an underground location. And then when you come up, as soon as you walk out, you got the harbor right here. We got some pretty good real estate over there at Mickey D's.
People who are patriotic and have an affection for Hong Kong, who are capable and inspired to serve.
So this is my token. This is like my ticket to get on the Star Ferry. Now the cool thing about this token, which is one admission on the ferry, costs the equivalent of about 60 cents. So just keep that in mind when I'm on this ferry and seeing the scenery. 60 cents for this ride. Just opened the gates for boarding. These things go really frequently. Like when I got here, one had just left. We're already boarding again. So if you missed the first one, don't worry. There's a lot more on the way. I think they come like every 10 minutes or so. Here we are. Don't forget, this trip right here is 60 cents worth, so I don't think you get a much better bargain than that. Give you guys a look around this little ferry. short, quick ride, but it's really nice, especially if you get lucky and have nice weather like today. You get this nice breeze, you hear the swish swashing of the water. Very relaxing. All right, we're pulling in at the Central Pier. We are here. Here's something you don't see a whole lot of anymore. Phone booth. Reminds me of a movie from the 80s. On this footbridge. Definitely a large international presence here. Seen all types of different people. Oh, I just kind of fumbled my way over here. And I'll be honest with you, without the help of an Aussie businessman over here who pointed me in the right direction, I don't know if I would have been able to find this, because I asked a few people, some said they didn't know, even asked a couple of police officers. They were telling me I needed to take a taxi, and I know that I don't, because I know there's a tram that goes to the peak. But this Aussie businessman came through for me. We're almost there. There's signs for this thing. You can see the peak tram, but it's like, look for the missing clue, because the signs point you in a direction, but it's not exactly right. And then you follow that and you walk into a wall, and then you're like, okay, now what? And it's like, look for the missing clue. But I am getting there. All right, we got it. Finally. After a lot of effort and a lot of wrong turns, we finally got it. I'm holding the camera perfectly horizontally right now, so you can see the angle that we're at. Pretty steep angle. And that sunlight is hidden. Oh yeah, it's hidden. A wax museum here. So when you get here, there's a bunch of different shops. We got a Burger King over here. It's essentially a shopping mall with a sky terrace on it. So there's a little sneak peek over there. Now this isn't what you'd necessarily expect to see in the peak here in Hong Kong, Bubba Gump Shrimp. And we finally made it to the sky terrace. This is why we're here. See some killer views. Guys, I did it. Burger King. I know it's so wrong to do this, but I'm starving and this was the quickest and easiest option. Now for the ride back down.
One of my friends has a house in Kowloon.
Obviously, we've got to go in reverse, ride backwards, because if we were facing the front, we'd fall right out of our seats. This is a pretty steep grade. Well, my Chinese actually was useful just now, because when we got off the tram, I heard some Chinese people speaking Mandarin, and they were saying in Chinese, meaning who lost their wallet. And then I heard a couple of Chinese people, they didn't know how to translate it, because there were people of all different nationalities on there, so they were trying to say in English, and they just went money, money. So I finally got to put my Chinese to good use, and I translated it, and I just shouted out, "Who lost their wallet? Who lost their wallet?" Now I'm not sure if the person that lost it heard or found it, but I shouted it as loudly as I could, tried my best. So hopefully they got it, because, whoo, can you imagine that? Coming back from a trip up to the peak, get off the tram only to realize that you've lost your wallet. I mean, what a nightmare that would be. And it is technically December now, so they're already getting in the Christmas spirit here in Hong Kong. Time for a Hong Kong market walkthrough. I don't have much time left here, but I did want to check out at least a market or two. Show you all what it's like. They've got some pretty legendary markets over here. Let's go over here and see the butcher. Some roast duck. Be in the right place here. There's a little dim sum place just right here on the street. Well, here we are in the waiting area. Going to be heading back to mainland China. Everything was going pretty good. I had no complaints. Everything was going smoothly. I gave myself an hour when I got here to get through all the stuff, you know, the normal things you need to go through when doing a border crossing. I expected it to be a lot faster than it was, and the result, missed my train. So I was not able to get even a partial refund for the ticket, which I'm not surprised. I mean, so I got another ticket that's an hour and 20 minutes after the initial train, and I almost wasn't even able to pay for it because I didn't have enough Hong Kong money. Luckily, my Chinese bank card worked. Otherwise, I would have been just completely out of luck. I gotta be honest with you guys, that really pissed me off. I thought I had plenty of time. If anything, I thought I was coming a little bit too early. It was much faster for me going from China into Hong Kong than coming back from Hong Kong into China. I mean, coming from China into Hong Kong for me was so fast and easy, but doing it in reverse, it took much, much longer. I didn't really have to go through any steps when leaving China, like on the Chinese side before coming into Hong Kong. I was able to pretty much just get my ticket and go right through, so it didn't take any extra time. But trying to leave Hong Kong, even before I get on the train, I had to go through all the steps and fill out this form and do this and do that. And just to be on the safe side, I should have came at least 90 minutes to 2 hours early. I even thought about it, but I was like, no, you know, coming here was so fast and easy. Going back will be the same. Well, now I'm paying the price, both in terms of time and money. That was basically the same as taking about $40 and flushing it down the toilet. And then kind of to add insult to injury, they are not selling anything here. I mean, you can't even get a bottle of water. So all this is going to be happening during dinner time. I'm going to be really, really hungry. It looks like my little trip to Hong Kong is ending with a bang. A negative bang, but a bang nonetheless.